Hello smart civil engineers. I am Engineer Masroor and you are watching Engineering Network YouTube channel. I am back with another important topic. So in today's video our topic is how to calculate the quantity of materials for slab in a house. So in today's video I will find out the number of cement bags, number of sand trucks, number of aggregate trucks, and also the total amount of steel used in the construction of slab. Okay, now this is basically the fifth part of complete house estimation course. So kindly watch this video till the end for better understanding. And also you will get the complete course of house estimation in the I button as well. So basically in today's video I am going to show you how to calculate the quantity of materials for slab in a house. Now before I start this very important video, I have a request from you guys. So if you find this video informative, then please like this video, share it with your friends, and if you are new to my channel, then please click on the subscribe button and also make sure to press the bell icon for more civil engineering videos. Okay, so in today's video, our topic is how to calculate the quantity of materials for slab in a house. Now in previous two parts of complete house estimation course, I have explained how to calculate the quantity of materials. Also I have discussed how to calculate the total number of cement bags, total number of sand trucks, total number of aggregate trucks, and also the total amount of steel used in the construction of columns and beams of a house. Okay? So if you are new and haven't watched those two videos, then it's a request, please watch it so that you can understand this video in a better way. Now let's talk about our today's topic, which is how to calculate the quantity of materials for slab in a house. Right? Now if you look at the plan of the house, basically the slab is provided along the full length and width of the house. Okay? So I only need the length of the slab, width of the slab, and also the thickness of the slab, right? Now for the length and width of the slab, I will take the dimensions from outside of the house. Because if you look at the dimensions of these rooms and living room, it is basically from inside of these rooms and living rooms. And you should know that the slab will rest on these outer walls. Okay? So for that, I have to take the dimensions of the slab from outside of the house. So I hope you will understand this point. Now let me show it to you that how I will calculate the length and width of the slab for this particular house. So as you can see, this is the length of the house, right? Now in this direction, I already have the length of this living room, which is 36 feet. So if I take the length of the living room and add it with the thickness of these two walls, which are 9 inch, and we know that 9 inch is equal to 0.75 feet, then I will get the length of the slab. Okay? Now you must be thinking here that why I add the thickness of these two walls to the length of the living room, right? Well, as I told you that the slab will rest on these walls. So I have to add the thickness of the walls to the length and width of the slab, right? So the length of slab is equal to length of living room, which is equal to 36 feet, plus thickness of these two walls, which is 0.75 feet each. And the total length of the slab will become 37.5 feet, right? So the total length of the slab is equal to 37.5 feet. Next is the width of the slab. So for the width of the slab, I will follow the same process as I did for the length of the slab. So the width of the slab is equal to width of this room, which is 14 feet, plus width of the living room, which is also 14 feet, plus 3 into thickness of these three walls, which is 0.75 feet each. Okay, and the total width of the slab is equal to 30.25 feet. And also the thickness of the slab for this particular house is 5 inches. And we know that 5 inch is equal to 0.4167 feet. Now let's calculate the quantity of materials for this slab. So the volume of slab is equal to length into breadth into height. Here the length of the slab is equal to 37.5 feet. Breadth of the slab is equal to 30.25 feet. And the thickness of slab is equal to 0.4167 feet. Okay, so the total volume for slab is equal to 37.5 feet multiplied by 30.25 feet multiplied by 0.4167 feet, and the total volume of slab will become 472.7 cubic feet. Okay, now this 472.7 cubic feet is basically the total wet volume of this slab, right? Now for the quantity calculation of cement, sand, aggregate and steel for this slab, I will need two things. First is the dry volume of this slab, and second is the information about the grade of concrete, that which concrete grade is used in the slab construction, and also what are the mix ratio of that particular concrete grade. Okay, so let's first talk about the dry volume of slab. Now we know that the dry volume of concrete is equal to 1.54 times the wet volume. Here the wet volume of slab is equal to 472.7 cubic feet. Okay, so the total dry volume of slab is equal to 1.54 multiplied by 472.7, and it will become 728 cubic feet. So the total dry volume of slab is equal to 728 cubic feet. Now let's talk about which grade of concrete is used for the slab construction and what are the mix ratio of that particular concrete grade. So for this particular slab, M20 concrete grade is used, and we know that the mix ratio of M20 concrete grade is 1:1.5:3, and the sum of ratio is 5.5. Okay, now I have the wet volume of slab, dry volume of slab, and also I have the grade of concrete as well. So I think now I am ready to finally calculate the quantity of materials for slab, right? So at number 1 is the quantity of cement. So the volume or quantity of cement is equal to 1, which is the ratio of cement in the mix ratio of M20 grade concrete, multiplied by the dry volume of concrete, which is 728 cubic feet, divided by 5.5, which is the sum of ratio. And after calculation, the total volume of cement is equal to 132.36 cubic feet, right? Now in market, I will get the cement in the form of bags. Okay? And we know that the volume of single cement bag is equal to 1.25 cubic feet. So the total number of cement bags is equal to volume of cement, which is 132.36 cubic feet, divided by 1.25 cubic feet, which is the volume of single cement bag, and the total number of cement bags will become 106 bags. So finally I can say that in the construction of this 37.5 feet by 30.25 feet slab, I will need 106 cement bags. Next is the quantity of sand. So the volume or quantity of sand is equal to 1.5, which is the ratio of sand, multiplied by the dry volume of concrete, which is 728 cubic feet, divided by 5.5. And after calculations, the total volume of sand is equal to 198.5 cubic feet, right? Now when you go to the market and ask for the sand, the supplier will provide you the sand in the form of trucks. Okay? And let's say that the volume of single truck is equal to 120 cubic feet. So the total number of sand trucks is equal to volume of sand, which is 198.5 cubic feet, divided by 120 cubic feet, which is the volume of single truck. And the total number of sand trucks will become 1.65 trucks. So now I can say that in the construction of this 37.5 feet by 30.25 feet slab, I will need 1.65 sand trucks. Also, here you should keep this in your mind that the volume of truck can increase or decrease, which depends on the size of the truck or dumper. Okay? So you have to calculate the volume of truck by yourself, which is very easy and simple. So if you want me to make a detailed video on how to calculate the volume of truck or dumper, then let me know in the comment section. Next is the quantity of aggregate. So the volume or quantity of aggregate is equal to 3, which is the ratio of aggregate, multiplied by the dry volume of concrete, which is 728 cubic feet, divided by 5.5. And after calculations, the total volume of aggregate is equal to 397 cubic feet, right? Now, as I told you that the volume of single truck is 120 cubic feet. So the total number of aggregate trucks is equal to volume of aggregate, which is 397 cubic feet, divided by 120 cubic feet, which is the volume of single truck. And the total number of aggregate trucks will become 3.30 trucks. So now I can say that in the construction of this 37.5 feet by 30.25 feet slab, I will need 3.30 aggregate trucks. Next is the quantity of steel. Now for steel calculation in slab, I will need the total wet volume of slab. Okay? And I have already calculated the wet volume of slab, which is equal to 472.7 cubic feet. Now here I will convert the wet volume of slab, which is in cubic feet, into cubic meter, right? Now why I am doing this? Well, it's because if you look at the density of steel, it is basically in cubic meter. So in order to calculate the quantity of steel in slab, I will convert the wet volume of slab from cubic feet to cubic meter. Okay? Now we know that 1 cubic meter is equal to 35.31 cubic feet. So the total wet volume of slab in cubic meter is equal to wet volume of slab in cubic feet, which is 472.7 cubic feet, divided by 35.31. And the total wet volume of slab in cubic meter will become 13.38 cubic meter, right? Now I will use a thumb rule for the steel calculation in slab. So according to the thumb rule, it states that 3% steel will be used in a slab. Okay? So the total quantity of steel in slab is equal to 3 divided by 100. Multiply by the wet volume of slab in cubic meter, which is 13.38 cubic meter. And the quantity of steel will become 0.4014 cubic meter. Now the supplier will provide you the steel in the form of tons, not in cubic meter, right? So for that, the amount of steel is equal to volume of steel, which is 0.4014 cubic meter, multiply by the density of steel, which is 7850 kg per cubic meter, and the amount of steel will become 3150 kg, right? Also, we know that 1 ton is equal to 1000 kg. So the total amount of steel in tons is equal to 3150 divided by 1000, and it will become 3.15 tons. So now I can say that in the construction of 37.5 feet by 30.25 feet slab, 3.10 tons steel will be used. So this is how you can easily calculate the quantity of materials for slab in a house. Okay? So in this particular video, I have briefly explained how to calculate the quantity of materials for slab, number of cement bags, number of sand trucks, number of aggregate trucks, and also the total amount of steel used in the construction of this slab in tons. Okay? So the main objective of this hard work that I have done for this particular video is I only want to make you guys understand in easy and simple way as possible. And in the return, I am only asking for, if you find this video informative, then please like this video, share it with your friends, and if you are new to my channel, then please click on the subscribe button. And also make sure to press the bell icon as well, so that you will never miss a notification whenever I upload a new video. See you in the next video.